Hello and welcome. Today we're going to check out the Harry Potter section of the amazing Universal Studios located in Hollywood. Now there's a lot to soak in, but it is only a short video. It's just over 6 minutes long, unless I cut anything else out. So you're going to have to sort of run around and keep up as we go, because the video snippets are quite fast. Now this is a completely different layout to the one that they've got at Universal Florida. I am lucky enough to do both, and I will be doing a comparison video of both lands sooner rather than later. So keep your eyes peeled for all of those to come on the channel once I have uploaded the most recent trip from Singapore. Now you can see as you come through, you've got 2 or 3 different good photo opportunities, and of course you have got this amazing train just as you come in. Now luckily, the day that I was walking around and running around to film all the bits and pieces, everybody, and I mean everybody in the park, ran to the Super Mario section first, because that is the newest section of the park, and lots of people spend a good amount of time in that area. A bit like how they spend a lot of time in the Harry Potter section over in Florida. So people are in full costume and everything like that down at the Super Mario, but this one didn't seem to have a lot of people lingering around. There was a couple of places that you could obviously get yourself a little drink. I think it's butterbeer, isn't it, that you can sort of just grab yourself a drink at. And obviously people were still wearing the capes, and you do have the interactive bits with the wands and things like that, but I think I was just very lucky at the time just coming down when I did. But you can see all the amazing theming on the rooftops, and you do have quite a lot of different bits and pieces to do if you did purchase a wand, so it keeps the big ones and smaller ones alike entertained. So I'm literally just going to do a little loop and a look round. We're going to soak in basically just the theming of what it's got. Then in a minute or two's time, we do jump into one or two of the shops. I think I jump into one of the places that you can eat as well. So like I said, it's not the longest of video, but it isn't really the biggest of sections. Now obviously over in Florida you've got 2 lands. You've got Islands of Adventure and Universal Studios, but even at Universal Studios over there, it is a completely different configuration to this one. So there's lots of different bits and pieces just to see with regards to walking around, because I would imagine, if I getting this correctly, if I was in the one in Florida, I would have the massive Hagrid's roller coaster now to my right hand side. So some of the alleyways are very similar, but some of the shops I think are placed in a slightly different location. But when I cut through and start to explore a little bit more, there is an area of the park that used to be, by the looks of it, either an extended queue line, or it used to be a ride for something else. So yes, that is the enormous Harry Potter castle. That does look very good indeed. And yes, at the time of this being filmed, they did have the ride that went underneath the castle, which is exactly the same as the one that they got in Florida. And they do have the smaller roller coaster just here to the right hand side, again just like they've got in Florida. So if you have been to the one in Florida, this will now be a spitting image just here. But the difference is now you can't walk over a bridge to go into the next land. This is all sort of concealed in its one area, and then you've got to come back out, and I do believe you turn right to then head down to the Simpsons section. But the queue times were minutes. It was like 5 minutes per ride on basically everything apart from the Super Mario Land, where you did have to wait a good amount of time, but it was definitely worth doing that. So the coaster's to my left hand side, and then obviously you got the massive castle just behind, and then we're having a quick look in some of the shop windows before we spend a little bit of time getting tucked in to some of the shops as well. But I really do like the rooftops. I think it is extremely effective with how they have done this. Now, another thing that I find quite interesting is that we've got this section here in Universal Studios, but the other section at Universal Studios in Florida is actually the Diagon Alley, because this bit, it's Hogsmeade, I do believe. Hogsmeade is actually over in Islands of Adventure. So they have different lands in different areas. It's all very confusing, but let's just stick on topic with regards to where we are, and we are in the one in Hollywood. Now again, you can stand at the windows of this, so you can wave your wand and get all the interactive bits and pieces moving around if you wanted to. And of course there's all the sweet shops and all the other little bits and pieces like that. Now just to the right hand side, you have got the live performances where they'll come down and do some songs and different bits like that. And of course you have got the signage up at the top, so it's really easy to get around and find everything. There will be a light show here, but I did not get the opportunity to film it because I was actually out the park when the time that it got dark. So it's just one of those things of, it'd be nice to go back and see the difference of this show compared to some of the others that I have seen in the past. But I would imagine it would be very effective indeed. Now, as we're coming through, you can see the roller coaster through the trees. It did have some pace, but obviously it is just the smaller one that just goes around twice. They don't have any of the bigger roller coasters in the Harry Potter section, so they haven't merged the Gringotts Bank one, for example, and they haven't added in, obviously, the massive Hagrid's ride. But there is a big roller coaster coming, I do believe, under the Fast and the Furious name. If not, that is already, the skeleton of that will already be up, because this was filmed at the end of 23. Yes, it's taken 6 months to get it uploaded onto the channel. That was the flaw, and no, I'm not taking it out, so I'm far too lazy. But the detail of this castle is very, very special. Now, this is the queue line in question. So if you know what this is, please let me know. We are still in the Harry Potter section, but this area looked enormous. So I don't know if this was the extended queue line to the castle before it changed. It just didn't seem to go anywhere, so I couldn't quite figure out where it went. But if you do know what this is for and what the entrance of this was for, then obviously please do let me know in that comment section, because I always love to know what used to be at the park. Now, I told you it was a short, sweet video, and that is it, and I am done. So if you can like this video and subscribe to the channel, that'd be absolutely fantastic. But as always, thank you very much for watching. You lot take care, and I'll catch you in the next one.